Hi, well in our last video we just completed our tribute flypast over Weasenham St Peter and we headed off to the North Norfolk coast. We skirted past Webburn and Cromer and Sheringham and then turned south inland towards Aylsham and then Norwich. As you can see, our flight path did take a slightly strange direction before arriving at Norwich, but that's another story. So Norwich is actually my hometown. I was born here a few years ago, and this was the first time I'd landed at Norwich for 32 years. By the way, that bleeping noise is the stall warner, which hasn't quite realised we've already landed. We landed first, followed just behind by Romeo Bravo with Christian and Sandrine. Handling is mandatory at Norwich, and for your £56 you get 2 hours parking, some excellent marshalling and some expensive looking chocks. Norwich we get big boy chocks. Wow, check it out. Oh, yeah. This airport has certainly got a lot more traffic than it had when I lived here. Your handling fee also gets you into the VIP lounge, with tea, coffee and soft drinks available and apparently free. Yeah. The first surprise of the day was meeting my old friend Andrew Beattie. He was at school with me. We hadn't seen each other for, well, nearly 40 years? Andrew is a professional helicopter pilot doing medevac and offshore, and he very kindly offered to show us around this beautiful beast. This is what he works with. I love helicopters. I find them fascinating and slightly terrifying. This is something I love about having friends in aviation. After sitting in a Spitfire in Duxford the day before, here we were taking turns to sit at the controls of a helicopter. Thanks, Andrew. My second surprise of the day was meeting up with my old friend Jan Mathieson. We hadn't seen each other for, well, 33 years, I think. Jan very kindly offered to be our chauffeur for the day and drove us into the city centre. If you've not visited Norwich, it's a must-see. It's a truly beautiful city, and in this weather, it was perfect. We used to have our school assembly every day in this cathedral. Jan and I both played at being the tour guide. I've not lived here for a very long time, and he knows the place like the back of his hand. For me, it was a real trip down memory lane. I got quite nostalgic, visiting my old school, looking at some of the playing fields, the cathedral close, and of course, the beautiful River Wensum. Norwich has always been a beautiful and cool place to live. It's just taken the rest of the world a long time to realise it. Temperatures were pretty much scorching, well over 30 degrees, and we stopped off for a cold drink and a light lunch in a pop-up restaurant by the river. We had just enough time to visit Norwich Market before heading back to the airport. From Norwich, we headed south, skirting past Ipswich. And if you know anything about the Norwich-Ipswich rivalry, you'll understand that I was quite keen on skirting past Ipswich as quickly as possible. Our route south took us past Colchester and eventually into the overhead of Southend Airport. And it wasn't long before we had the South England coast in front of us, with Dover and its famous white cliffs over on the left. Our final destination for the day was Lydd, and we planned to stay in the local area and leave for France the next morning. Well, that was the plan. Okay, we've reached Lydd in Kent, which is our last British port of call. Tomorrow it's going to be back to Le Touquet. Or so we thought, because once we got to Ashford and checked into our hotel for the evening, we started looking at the weather forecasts for northern France for the next day. And to be honest, it was not looking good. Strong winds, low cloud, and potential thunderstorms. We made the decision to leave the aircraft in Lydd and to come back from France to collect them when the weather had improved. So it was a taxi to Ashford, a train to London, another train up to Luton Airport, and EasyJet back to Bordeaux. So 8 days later, we're here in Bordeaux-Mérignac Airport. Here we are, Stéphane and Christian. We're going to go back and get our planes. So we're going back EasyJet to Gatwick, taxi from Gatwick to Lydd, and hopefully make it back. Fighting against a heat wave, an incredible heat wave in Europe, 41 degrees, which we have to avoid. So the excitement continues. There's a technical fault with the plane. Our flight's been cancelled or delayed. So instead of taking off at 7 a.m, it's planned to take off at 2 p.m. So, yeah. Who said it was easy? Which means we have to hang around for 6 hours and change the taxi, change the plans. Anyway, we are flexible, flying flexible frogs. The frogs are flexible. We are at Romney, just a few kilometres from Lydd. We made it here from Gatwick. Stéphane admiring the view. Yeah. Christian admiring the view.
Enfin, on est là.
And it's nice, cool, breathable, refreshing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. C'est pas l'homme qui prend la bière, c'est la bière qui prend l'homme.
En anglais.
Ah oui.